build America, because that will create jobs. That's why it is so important to think about the infrastructure, because we happen to be at a stage right now where if we don't rebuild our infrastructure, we're going to fall behind economically, and we're not going to be the #1 nation anymore. I mean, right now we are the most powerful nation, but it is because we have this great infrastructure, and over the last 100 years we have built. But in the last few decades we have stopped maintaining that infrastructure, and we have stopped building and expanding that infrastructure, even though there's tremendous demand for that infrastructure. So if you build this infrastructure and do what was recommended, the $2.2 trillion of infrastructure, that will put a huge amount of people to work, and it really will stimulate the economy. And they did that also in the 40s and in the 50s, and Eisenhower did it in the 50s, and even into the 60s. The height of infrastructure was in the early 60s. It was the height. And even when I came here to this country, there was this enormous boom of expansion of freeways and bridges and waterways and the universities and all this. And now we kind of like only spending 2.5% of our GDP on infrastructure rather than the 5% that we should be spending.
$2.2 trillion. We had money back in the 1950s and 60s. That is a gigantic amount of money. And when people think about infrastructure, they get it. Roads, bridges.